Hello and welcome to this open webinar with the theme, the topic, the new era approach to the incarnational programs. And I would like to just share the link and allow you to enter here with your intention, choose your participation, and allow it to be with everything that meets you here, also the energy as a trial to see how it is. Hello and welcome again. Just shared the link. Opening the topic here, I would like to begin with a small practice. So, if you could imagine, maybe you know or you believe that we are incarnating in our lives, that we have a part of us that's eternal, a part of us that's eternal and that is love. In our new era approach, the things I will share with you here is what I've investigated, found through inner connections, inner communications, visions in different areas all over the globe where I've been traveling and opening to the support for the energy in the ignition of the new era consciousness, the field of the new era consciousness, and the preparation for the birth of the mutual consciousness of the gathered earth people. So the teachings and the approach that I will share with you here, I've found it in the inner connection. So I'll invite you to search within yourself for how it resonates and how it makes sense to you, and to bring everything else in that you know as a support for your entrance, for your access to how this works, how this topic opens for you. But the first small practice here was to try to think about if you know or believe that we are incarnating here, then you will have an I, not an I, but the I, the self, that's eternal. You have a consciousness, a soul consciousness that is eternal. And this eternal soul that is love have a journey across time and space beyond this life where we are at here. The I, the self, that you are experiencing here, the part, the I, the consciousness being here in this webinar, that's a different self, a different I, a different consciousness. So when we open to this approach to the incarnational programs, the New Era approach, to be aware of this perspective, that we open to a perspective for the eternal soul that is love. But the consciousness, the self, the I that opens to this topic has a connection, has what could you call it? A communion with the eternal soul that is love. But the I, the self, the one you are here is so much more than the eternal soul that is love. You are a creature carrying in the consciousness carried through the time and the history, your ancestral evolution, where you are the present version of this existence. So can you share with me this shift in perspective? Because I often experience, and we talk about this, a lot of people interested in these topics, they are so strongly connected with the higher dimensions, the higher vibrations, and sometimes the connection, the sense of reality, the sense of meaning with these higher vibrations, this connection with the eternal soul that is love, and what comes with this can be stronger, more present, and more available than the connection with our existence here. And it's okay when we open to the topic and open to the recognition from within, that we can experience these enhanced experiences with it and sense the importance from within, the way it has a deep meaning to us, that perhaps it doesn't even make sense, it's just there. But it's still really important that when we have been in these experiences, that we are reconnecting into this reality where we are, and allow it to be an extension and add to our experience here, something that's extra to what we already know is us, is our reality. So the shift from I am the self here, I'm the I here, the experience here, and I carry an eternal soul that is love. And the eternal soul that is love has an history and existence across time and space. Does it make sense to you? How do you experience this shift in perspective? With the new era field and the connection developed through our usage of technology and the preparation through the incarnational programs, the availability for us to reach these recognitions from within, I see them as enhanced to each and every one of us. How they appear, if it's like with teachings, webinars like this one, or if it's through reading books, television, movies, where you have these enhanced experience of connection, or something that ignites or invites you in to be followed into an expansion and an evolution from within, that's pretty strong, to something that's in your inner experience, something that's beyond what we experience in our everyday life and what's going on in our surroundings. That we can have really strong experiences with, for instance, movies, books, or any way where we can be moved, ignited, have an inner experience by being a part of something that's shared with us. This accessibility to development of us through a shared experience beyond our physical reality. That's what's expanding in these times with the usage of the internet, the technology, and what is used in this shift where our consciousness through the incarnational programs and the support that comes with this has an enhanced, strong development, evolution within a really short moment of time. So the new era approach to the incarnational programs, we have recognitions, resonance, and a kind of technical understanding. It's humanificated, you could say, in a way where we are seeing this, we are understanding this as how we could understand it. The actual way these things happenings is much more there's much more to it than we can grasp, that we can understand, that we can comprehend. So there's a part of these understandings, they are like visualizations or tell stories about how things going on that we can relate to in our reality. And then we have a part that's like soul legend parts. The soul legend parts, they are much more adventurous. They are like legends, so they are relatable but more distant to us. They are collecting what we can relate to in a distant level, more adventurous, and more symbolic than the technical descriptions. Everything is like in our mirror, in our perspective, in our possibility to understand things. It's important to bring this in. So, the soul legends, I will later on provide with a webinar surrounding about the soul legends. That you can find some of it on my YouTube channel already there. But the soul legend describes how our universe is a breath with an expanding, and the opposite movement. So we have a move out and in with the universe, and that these breaths of the universe, there have been ignitions of these breaths, and when they ignited in before the soul legends time, different states of potentials was available when the breath opened, and then that would be the state of the universe breath for that breath of the universe. Then at one moment of time, the exact state of everything where the breath opened within was love. And this special state, this void of love, gave birth to the first consciousness that is love. And when this breath with the first consciousness that is love ended, there was a seed, the seed of the first consciousness that is love. And when the breath opened again, it opened with this seed as the foundation for the next universal breath. These breath expands, opens to new layers or dimensions, new universe realities, but with inner connection and carriage of the previous created spans of the first consciousness that is love. 1,000 breaths have been until now, and the breath before the universal breath that we are in now was the first breath with this physical reality where within we exist. And when this breath where within we exist sprang, opened, it opened with the version of the physical reality that's according to the first consciousness that is love. And that's the structured version of reality. This structured version of reality opened and gave a new movement in this breath where the fracturing of the structures gave a reversal movement within the universe where all the fractures search to reach back to their origin. But their origin become non-available because they found each other and create intermediate states of fulfillment. And that created the matter and the evolution within the matter beyond the first consciousness that is love, created in this universal breath where within we exist. In the youth of this universal breath where within we exist, everything was flowing with the first consciousness that is love, but nothing reflected the first consciousness that is love due to the survival reactions within this creation of reality or reality. Only when a gender carried creature with long offsprings carrying existed, it reflected enough to begin to reflect with the first consciousness that is love, and creating a spirit, a mutual spirit with the first consciousness that is love, that expanded the capacity and the consciousness with love in these creatures. The civilization given birth with this expansion, this evolution of consciousness is in the soul legend named Cosmic Atlantis. In Cosmic Atlantis, the first fall was created. It's according to the soul legend, the fall created the first cosmic karmic law, the law of separation, and the law of free will. And the law of separation and the law of free will, the first creation of the soul that is love as a separation from the first consciousness that is love, from the spirit created in Cosmic Atlantis was created. The first civilization in the universe carrying in these separations these eternal soul that is love, that was unique themselves, was called cosmic Lemuria. And in cosmic Lemuria, the fall here created the evolution of the soul and created the law of equal the law of equality and the law of equal exchange, to ensure that both the creature, the reality, and the eternal soul that is love was receiving more than was given in any circumstances, any angles, in any ways. So if the universe expands, when it was young, what was in the inner part is now in the outermost part. And I know this is opposite to astronomy, but this is how it's shown in these inner visions. So the oldest part, the cosmic Atlantis parts is in the outermost part of the universe. And through times 16 evolutionary steps, with the evolution of the eternal soul that is love, has been created. And we are in the youngest part, we are in the innermost part of the universe. When a creature merges and shows itself to be available to the carriage of the eternal soul that is love, it's due to reflection. It's this creation of reflection. And the reflection, sorry, I just need to be connected with the channeling here. Here it comes again. Thank you. So we're still in the connection with the energy, supported with the field, with the nearer field of consciousness here, to be in our reflection with what I'm sharing here, the nearer approach to the incarnational programs. So the incarnational programs was developed to create a safe, secured version of the possibility for the eternal soul that is love to support our reality to be love, and to create these layers of extended consciousness that is love, that will stay when this universal breath reverses and ends itself, to add to the seed of the first consciousness that is love. So that was an overall purpose. And in this overall purpose, there's an endless love to everything, an endless love to life, to the creature, to the development, to the evolution. But this universal breath is the first breath with a separation. So that's really special. And the separation was the foundation for the creation of the incarnational programs. In the third area with the incarnations, we had cosmic Atlantis, cosmic Lemuria, we had cosmic Sumeria. And the cosmic Sumeria, the fall ensured that in each area where we are incarnating the eternal soul that is love, a soul creature is chosen to carry the eternal soul that is love, to ensure the separation and the unification. That's not unification, but the containment, that we are all that we need to be, that everybody is carrying fulfillment within ourselves. So we are not needing anything outside ourselves to fulfill ourselves. The full potential is already here. That's created with the third cosmic karmic law, the law of of being whole, of being enough. So within these major cosmic karmic law and some smaller ones that I'm not aware of yet, the incarnational programs opens when in an area of the universe a creature's showing themselves to be available for the connection with the eternal soul that is love. And the connection opens when the fetus is connected. In our creatures, it's 4 months into the pregnancy, where all the connections within the physical system ignites and works. And then it opens the consciousness. And within the DNA memory field in the stem cells, the connection opens. In the DNA memory field in the stem cells is carried the archives from the parents, from the ancestors, that creates the unique version of capacities, possibilities in heritage to each and every one of us. And then the eternal soul that is love embeds, connects within the DNA memory field to support, only to expand into better possibilities in every way. So when a creature shows itself to be prepared, an ancestor version from cosmic Lemuria incarnates and prepares through thousands of years to see how this creature works with this expansion, this extension and possibility for support for consciousness development into being love. When it's certain and it's shown how this will work, the development of the soul, that's the soul type or the soul that fits with this creature, begins. And then they will take the youngest, the most near version of fulfilled incarnational program and incarnate soul from there into the new era where they will open the incarnational program and use them for the last parts of the creation. And then the soul in that new incarnational program is created. And the incarnations where the soul connects, fulfill the life, and after the fulfilled life, the shift, the movement, the transfer back to the layers of reality where the eternal soul that is love exists, creates the exchange with the spirit, with the memories, with the archives developed in cosmic Lemuria. And this circle of existence and creations, we have this in the beginning, we have the perspective. So the perspective of me being me here, the carriage of the eternal soul that is love is a support for my creation of being a consciousness, a consciousness creature, and with the ability to comprehend, understand, and create beyond what would be imaginary possible, or what I could calculate myself to. And even though calculation, language skills comes from these enhanced development with the eternal soul that is love, what we can see with our physical senses, what we can end up understanding with our physical senses and understandings, they are carried in the part of our consciousness that is solely carried by the creature. And then the expansion goes with the creation of what's unimaginary. And there's a development in that. So what was unimaginary 100 years ago is imaginary today. So what 100 years ago needed the expansion, the enhancement, the support from eternal soul that is love is no longer necessary. Then that capacity to expand reality beyond understanding, beyond comprehension, opens to something new. The incarnational programs across the universe, they have these, you could say, development areas like evolutionary steps. We are in the youngest part, and in the youngest parts we have the deepest connection with eternal soul that is love, the most developed support that we can have, and the most expanded archives and support from within to have these expansions beyond comprehensions. But in our area here, we had a small thing where our survival system created reactions and created consciousness with the highest possibilities. So the first 7 dimensions is carried with our creature, and the next 7 dimensions, or the 7 dimensions we carry is in, can only be carried by the support of the eternal soul that is love, creating the love civilization, the love existence, and love and balance is the same here. But our creature, by chance, not foreseen, created with the highest possibilities, the higher dimension, created survival system, a fear and need carried consciousness, creating a reality founded on fear and want, and with short-term consciousness, short-term development, and long-term breakdowns of reality, non-persistent reality, creating a lot of knowledge, but not so much wisdom. We are the only creature in the universe where this happened. And we created a disturbance in the incarnational programs, going back to the seed of love, going back to the inner connection, the umbilical cord of the eternal soul that is love. Through the incarnational program, we broke that down. But in these times, in these shifts going on since 2012, and with a high enhanced development now, we are reconnecting. We are reconnecting into the incarnational programs across the universe, carrying in the potential for the creation of what they call the central sun in our area here. A support for not only reconnecting with the early incarnational programs, but create a new what do you call it? A reopening of the fulfilled incarnational programs and the non-fulfilled incarnational programs hibernating, reopens and will be supported with the connection in our areas, because the development with these odd versions that we've created is a really strong and high spanned capacity with the ability to contain all the capacities, contain all the consciousness created in all of the incarnational programs across the universe. In the previous incarnational programs, they land in an equilibrium by expectations, an equilibrium with expectations and realizations and what can happen, balancing with the higher dimensions when they are developing the survival systems, reactions into be higher versions. It goes into an equilibrium with being satisfied. And that ends the development of that civilization into a kind of satisfaction with what can happen, what is possible. So in different areas of the universe, they have created within the full span of potential of consciousness, they've developed a part of that consciousness. We have nearly not developed any consciousness, but we have developed the containment that reach across the universe. And in these years, months and days, we are giving birth into our dormant consciousness with the connection, the reconnection with the umbilical cord into the fulfillment, into the incarnational programs, with the eternal soul that is love. We are in the evolution right now. So a lot of things going on, a lot of channels opens here, a lot of sharings. And I'm from Denmark. I'm a modern shaman. I'm a new era shaman, ignited in 2011, being connected and began to receive these informations and inner teachings and expansions, and worked with it full-time since December 2013, and for the last couple of years opened with English as well, being guided and asked from the inner communications with the different teams that I work with if I would like to share these things with you. So this is my response to the inner calling to share these things with you. This is a second webinar with my sharings about the new era and these different things that's going on here. And the first webinar was about 2012 shift in 2026, and there will be more. So open here for any questions, any sharings. If anything comes by, please bring them here. I would love to try to open them and see what comes with the connection and my collection. Sharing amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And a lot of these experiences, they comes in the journeys around the globe where I'm called to support this shift and the development in the grids, the development in the mutual field, the collected field of consciousness that has been completely distorted, completely disturbed. So our creation of the mutual field, the first time I saw the difficulty with this was when I was in preparation for my journey to Malta for the first Grail journey. Yeah. Just see. So just checking it, it was in January 2015. This journey, it was the 5th journey. My first journey was in 2012 in November to France, Montségur area. So on the journey to Malta, in the preparation, I was shown the difficulties with mutual fields or gathered collective fields of consciousness. That our reaction in the survival system creates this state where we say we are right and you are wrong. So all the groups, they are connecting with this entanglement within themselves. We are right and you are wrong. And because this has been the circumstance for the creation of consciousness and the collective field of energy for humanity, that creates a breakdown. So we have had small mutual fields, small collective fields disconnected. And if we say we are right and you are wrong, all the positive energies is going into the middle and the negative energies goes to the outermost sphere of the collective energy, the group energy. And then when the negative energy meets the negative energy, it creates like power creations of negative energy. So our mutual field have been power creations of negative energy, completely connected to our surroundings. The precinct to the nearest 4 galaxies has been completely filled with negative energy created in our small community here. I know it's awful, but isn't it amazing at the same time? So I was shown in the preparation for the journey to Malta that in this time, the creation of this distortion or separation, the enhancement of these fields, these disconnected fields, creating a mutual field with no connection internal, they, by the usage of the internet, these fields became powerful. And I was shown with these my own experiences how it worked. So if I was watching something on the internet, and this was something that was none of my concern whatsoever, it couldn't in any way interest me. It was beyond my reality. Then if it was something where a lot of people had a meaning to it, a lot of people had an interest to this, and it was not thousands, it was millions of people being invested in something going on the internet. And what I was shown was something going on the internet that was like, it was just a couple struggling and fighting with each other. Yes, they were known, pretty known, but what was happening was not important. It was not, interesting to me, but I was dragged into begin to following it, to watch it, and to have not only an interest in it, but being invested somehow, and to sense this, how strong this was. I understood when I was told with the inner communications that this is a disturbance of the free will. I was shown that when you are in an area and you have a history in this area, you have your own experience within an area, then in this area you will have a strong reaction to anything that goes on, that happens here, but the reaction will be interconnected within you because you have a history in your DNA memory field, in your surroundings, that's kind of suit with the evolution and with your reaction. So your reaction will be an integrated reaction. And when you have a meeting with something happening in another area of the world, no matter what it is, it can give really strong reaction. And if millions of people have really strong reactions and they are entering this separated field, distorted fields, then they could create really strong, like non-consciousness, negative reactions that completely eliminated the free will. Does this make sense to you? So I was shown that the reason why we went to Malta in 2015 was to support what was already going on, that the engineers, the energy engineers, the incarnational engineers, working with this creation of a mutual field or collective, a connected field, that they were working with how to align the fields and to support the development of the field, to give birth to the pure free will without the ignition of the survival system. So we supported that in the journey to Malta and had a beautiful experience with this. Sharing here, the energy was really strong. I couldn't comprehend anything, but I think I received the activations. You for sure would. Thank you. And you can come back and use the replay to see if the words reach you. And I know, English isn't my language, so I know it's also difficult to comprehend it, but to understand it, my pronunciations and everything. But I heard from others that when they get used to it, it's easier to hear what I'm saying as well. I felt like you're talking to me, and your eyes have such strong energy. Thank you so much. How beautiful of you to share this with me. Thank you. It's really important to me that you sense the energy and that you recognize with resonance that it makes sense to you what I'm sharing here. So thank you for this. So any other sharings, any questions, please put them in the comment. You could also do it in the replay, and I will come back, either write the answers or open in some of the next webinars with your questions or with your sharings as good as I can. Sometimes the reason why you can't comprehend what I'm saying is because the energy supports you into this state of being not asleep, but nearly asleep, like energy anesthetic, we are calling it. So in the energy anesthetic stage, you can hear I'm talking and you can sense where you are. You're not sleeping, but you are in a state with the energy where you can't comprehend anything that happens or is told. That's a support from your system to ensure that if you're connected in a way where you actually have availability, a lot of people in these openings have availability to reach layers of consciousness, areas of our consciousness that should be unreachable. If we can reach areas of our consciousness that should be unreachable, we can interfere. We can disturb the activations, the support that's brought in. And if this happens, then we will be brought into this energy anesthetic state to ensure that we will not disturb and it's not the field, it's not me, it's not the energy, it's your higher connection that ensures to bring you into this state for your support. Yeah, thank you for this sharing. Breathe. Yeah. And since the first Grail journey, 4 more came, and we have been on several crystal journeys, crystal consciousness journeys, and spiral journeys. And we're still going on. We are going to Bosnia, the Visoko Valley, with the pyramids here in April, going to support the ignition, the reignition of the mega constructions, the motors for the creation of a mutual field or connected fields of consciousness. 4,000 to 35,000 years ago, when these were created, preparated, and ignited to support the creation of a mutual field. They've been used to close it down as well. The closure fulfilled 4,000 years ago, and now it's reopening. And we are going to Bosnia to support this reopening here in I think it's the 17th of April, 2026. And in May, we will go to southern France, to Rennes-le-Château, the Mary Magdalene Church area, and the Montségur area, to support the ignition of the mutual fields, the support that opens with the mega structures that's human created in the newer times, like, by instance, the Eiffel Tower in France, and other structures where people comes and relate to it from all over the world. These structures have created power structures and a net of power, of energy within the primary one. And then at the same time, we will support, when we are in France, the ignition of the creation of mega structures on the internet. So things that we are clicking on, things we are attending, relating to, like I talked about in the beginning, that have created distortions with the birth of the mutual field of Earth people in the New Era field in January 2026. Everything is changing now. So the possibility to work with enhanced fields created by tendencies and things that we are taking care of on the internet, but supported by the newer field to ensure that what is enhanced in the energy, what creates power stations within the energy in the field, is according to evolution into being love, or into being sustainable, long and short term wise for each and every one of us at the same time. So the power structures within the internet that we create by our attention and intention, that will shift into be supported by the mutual field. And we will work with this from May, June. We will talk more of this later on. It will also be open to participate there with the group, and it will be open in English if participants will arrive with with non-possibility to understand Danish. And with this, we are landing here with this open webinar with the New Era approach for the incarnational programs. And please watch the first one if this was interesting to you, with the 2012 shift in 2026, and the next to come. I will open it all the way around with these small steps here and there. Yeah, love to see you there as well, and thank you for this sharing this time and energy that we gathered around here. See you, and hope that everything suits you better and better every day.